Every once in a while you run into a saw that's just so simple, so easy to work on, that you have to make some level of commentary. Now what this one is a Jonsered, see if the camera will pick it up, 455, not to be confused with the Husqvarna 455. This has the old style case where it has both the gas and the oil in the same case, right? You know? So I wanted to change the fuel line. There it is right there. Comes right out. This fuel line is quite soft. So I'm going to put a new fuel line on there, and it's got really, really good hot spark. So I have to reach in there. There's a little black thing sticking up. So I got to reach in there with the pliers and see if I can do this with one hand on the camera. Yeah, just pull it through. How do you beat that? Stick it on a carburetor. Don't you wish all saws were this simple? Pull that down so that's a nice loop. I'm going to clip that and put the fuel filter on there and we'll be done. It's been sitting for probably 10 years. This is one that I got from Bob years back, back when I was doing crazy muffler mods. Sat in my tractor for a bunch of years. It did a lot of work. Notice the layout of the ignition, kind of like a pull-in. And, I wanted a light little Jonsered to sort of match up with my 70E and my 80. Here it is. And per Jonsered of the era spec, it has a pulse line that goes from the crankcase up to the top. And it's a little dirty, but it doesn't really look that bad to me. So I'm just going to clean it up. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a little dirt in the filter. So I'm just going to blow that out and then put it back on and see if it'll fire. Well, the air box is probably not the best, but got that little block for summer, and you pull that out for winter to heat the air box a little bit. Little details like that. The choke lever goes in that groove right there, and there's like a rubber, almost like a door down there that captures the throttle, keeps the dirt from going in direct. But its filtration is meager at best, so as long as I'm not in a sandy environment, probably just fine. So I'm just going to throw some fuel in this thing and see if I can get to fire. Got 3 screws, 1, 2, there's one down there. They're all 4mm, and it's got good compression. I have to see if I can come up with a side cover in plate and stuff like that to see if I can make it functional. Well, a trip to the junk bin yielded these. This might be interesting for somebody at some point. And this one right here. I think that actually is a useful cover right there. And looks to me like a pull-in wrapped in red. We'll have to look at that and see what that is at some point. I did find these guards. That'll sit right there. Bar and chain. That one. Got this chain brake assembly. It looks like it's all complete. And I've got my big bucking spike here, Not sure which way it goes. We'll figure it out, I guess. What should I do? Should I go like this? Or go like this? I think it goes like that. We'll see. But let me go clean this off and see if I can figure out how to get all this stuff put together and come up with a bar and chain for it. Right? Well, I did a little more than I had said, as I actually pulled the carburetor off and put a new needle in there and set the metering lever, a couple new diaphragms and stuff like that, and it was full of oil. So the oil had separated out of the gas, so that thing wasn't going to run. So it's a good thing I did that, so I didn't waste a lot of time. Look at that, it's got a 3-chute clutch in there. For a small saw like that, that's pretty cool. Now this is a clamshell, and the case is, I don't know, I can't tell if it's plastic or magnesium. I think it's magnesium. It was not considered a professional saw. It was considered a homeowner saw, even though it had metal cases and all that. And I don't know. I mean, there are some added benefits to the way it was designed. It was simple to build. You're not going to hot rod it much, other than what I did with the muffler. But the snotty little saw, for what it is. And let me get the bar and chain back on, see if it'll fire back up idle for me. First pull. I won't have to choke it. That's the little 455. That's really a homeowner saw. See if it needs to get choked. You know, this poor saw is struggling with a chain that's duller than dull, but it actually had pretty good power. I could lean on it. Now this is an Oregon speed cut, and with a good chain, this thing will cut pretty good. I have a new loop back at the shop I'll put on this. You really can't sharpen these back to where they were. You know, the special grind that they have on these new chains. Yeah, you can round file them, and you can do some things like open up the back of the tooth to let more stuff out, and you know, maybe try to square file these things, whatever guys do to make them go fast. But it's really hard to beat the original version of that chain, you know, as it comes out of the box. I don't want to hurt this one, so I need to get another one I can beat on.